save. Synchronized rhythm in the heart of the gear. Everything's perfect and everything's clear. I merge with the signal, I merge with the flow. Watch the entire galaxy begin to melt and glow. I'm a needle of silver in a fabric of blue, following the patterns that the architects knew. Align the vectors, align the stream, floating on the logic of a digital dream. 100% of the efficiency and grace, winning every battle in the cybernetic race. Synchro streamer, cutting through the code, a master of the movement on the invisible road. Tangled in the rhythm, tangled in the light, a beautiful machine in the middle of the night. Synchro streamer, the spirit of the pure. Speed is the solution and the speed is the cure. The world is a river of a liquid gold, the greatest of the stories that was ever being told. I navigate the pulses, I navigate the time, committing every technical and beautiful crime. My vision is steady, my vision is bright, a horizontal comet in the middle of night. No more the resistance, no more the delay, washing all the shadows of the old world away. Pulse in the wire, fire in the soul, one with the circuit, in total control, synchronized. Stabilized, connection locked, streamer. The wave recedes, leaving only smoke. Tsunami out. Pressure building up inside the iron vein. I'm a loaded weapon in the pouring rain, waiting for the needle just to hit the peak. This is the religion for the cyber freak. The intake is screaming, sucking up the night, compressing all the shadows into blinding light. I drop it in the gear and let the monster loose. 100,000 horses drinking up the juice. Hear the whistle blowing, calling out the doom, sweeping all the rivals from the neon room. Hold on to the steering, brace against the force. I'm a force of nature on a violent course. Turbo tsunami, crashing on the grid, doing all the damage that the system hit. A massive wave of power, tearing up the street, washing away the losers in a pure defeat. Turbo tsunami, surfing on the flame. After I am finished, nothing is the same. Nothing is the same. Blow, 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 our valve is singing like a razor blade. Welcome to the empire that the speed has made. I'm riding on the crest of a synthetic wave, sending every challenger into the grave. The torque is twisting metal, bending sweeping all the rivals from the neon room. Hold on to the steering, brace against the force. I'm a force of nature on a violent course. Turbo tsunami, crashing on the grid, doing all the damage that the system hit. A massive wave of power, tearing up the street, washing away the losers in a pure defeat. Turbo tsunami, surfing on the flame. After I am finished, nothing is the same. The pressure breaks, the levee falls, smashing through the concrete wall. Brace for impact. Turbo tsunami, crashing on the grid, doing all the damage that the system hit. A massive wave of power, tearing up the street, washing away the losers in a pure defeat. Turbo tsunami, surfing on the flame. After I am finished, nothing is the same. The wave recedes, leaving only smoke. Tsunami out, 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 out. The sky is falling down in a river of the black. The city is a mountain that is starting to crack. The water's at the bumper, the sirens are all drowned. The only thing remaining is the static and the sound. I'm hydroplaning slowly through the alleyways of fear, with the ghost of the disaster whispering in my ear. The wipers cannot keep up with the weight of the flood. The rain is tasting metallic like the electronic blood. Lightning in the mirror, thunder in the chest. The elements are putting my machinery to the test. The grid is going under, the lights are turning dim. I'm driving on the surface of the planetary rim. The midnight monsoon washing out the trace of every single human in this godforsaken place. I'm fighting with the current, I'm fighting with the tide, with nowhere left to run and with nowhere left to hide. The midnight monsoon, a cold and wet hell, ringing for the neon city, a final funeral bell. I see the floating wreckage of 100 luxury cars, reflecting all the sadness of the artificial stars. The engine sucking air, but it's mostly taking mist. I'm holding on to life with a white and frozen fist.
The billboards are exploding as the short circuits begin. A celebration of the water for the urban world of sin. I find a higher ground on the bridge of rusted steel, and pray to the mechanics for the grip upon the wheel. Lightning in the mirror, thunder in the chest. The elements are putting my machinery to the test. The grid is going under, the lights are turning dim. I'm driving on the surface of the planetary rim. The midnight monsoon washing out the trace of every single human in this godforsaken place. I'm fighting with the current, I'm fighting with the tide, with nowhere left to run and with nowhere left to hide. The midnight monsoon, a cold and wet hell, ringing for the neon city, a final funeral bell. Drowning deep, the city goes to sleep. Keep the fire, or the water's gonna survive the storm. The midnight monsoon washing out the trace of every single human in this godforsaken place. I'm fighting with the current, I'm fighting with the tide, with nowhere left to run and with nowhere left to hide. The midnight monsoon, a cold and wet hell, ringing for the neon city, a final funeral bell. The rain never stops, the tide is rising. Drive on.
We're living in a world of chrome and steel, forgetting how it's supposed to feel. Just two strangers on a midnight flight, chasing the ghosts of the city light. You look at me, but you see right through, like I'm just a shade of the man you knew. The walls are closing, the air is cold, a story that's already been told. We have the money, we have the fame, but we're just players in a hollow game. One thing is missing, one thing is lost, and we're the ones who pay the cost. What about love? Don't you want it anymore? What about the hearts we were fighting for? What about love? Is it just a memory? A fading song on a broken frequency. Don't let it die, don't let it go. In this world of ice and neon glow, I remember when the fire was bright, keeping us warm through the winter night. But now the embers are turning gray, while we're just drifting further away. Turn the volume up to drown the pain, but I still hear you calling in the rain. A digital heart in a
lights, watching the beautiful illusions pass. A convoy black and a convoy white, ruling the day before we conquer the night. The engine is purring, a dangerous cat. We're deciding your fate at the drop of a hat. The ocean is calm, but the water is deep. We're making the promises we never will keep. Cassettes rolling slow, the melody weeps, while the rest of the innocent metropolis sleeps. A handshake of silver, a whisper of gold, the coldest of blood in a story so old. Sunset Boulevard Syndicate, taking the ride with a pistol of chrome, resting right by our side. Cruising the strip under the tangerine sky, where the beautiful people come out just to die. Boulevard Syndicate, shadows and wealth, taking the neon city by absolute stealth. The rivals are watching from the balconies high, but they wouldn't dare to look us deep in the eye. We own the casinos, we own the police. We are the architects of this artificial peace. A slow revolution of the heavy alloy, treating the dangerous world like a toy. The sun is descending, the violet bleeds, watering the dirt for our criminal seeds. Cassettes rolling slow, the melody weeps, while the rest of the innocent metropolis sleeps. A handshake of silver, a whisper of gold, the coldest of blood in a story so old. Sunset Boulevard Syndicate, taking the ride with the pistol of chrome, resting right by our side. Cruising the strip under the tangerine sky, where the beautiful people come out just to die. Sunset Boulevard Syndicate, shadows and wealth, taking the neon city by absolute stealth. The sun goes down, the neon wakes up, the rain begins in the city of sin. Sunset Boulevard Syndicate, taking the ride with the pistol of chrome, resting right by our side. Cruising the strip under the tangerine sky, where the beautiful people come out just to die. Sunset Boulevard Syndicate, shadows and wealth,
corporate pain. I'm a horizontal mountain, I'm a horizontal force, changing the direction and changing the course. Titanium tempest tearing up the night, a horizontal weapon made of energy and light, riding on the edge of a beautiful decay, chasing all the shadows of the old world away. Titanium tempest, the spirit of the pure. Speed is the salvation and the speed is the cure. The friction's getting higher, the world is just a blur. I'm a chemical reaction where the instincts all occur. I drift around the craters, I glide across the glass, watching all the atoms of the universe pass. My vision is steady, my vision is clear, drowning out the silence and the suffocating fear. I am the final signal, I am the final flash, heading for the future in a beautiful crash. Hold the wheel, feel the pride, the eternal warrior, the eternal ride. Survive the storm. Tempest rising, armor holding, titanium. Armor plated like a tank in the middle of the night, moving through the shadows, keeping out of sight. I've got a mission in the circuit, a mission in the steel, the absolute authority at the center of the wheel. The corporate walls are high, but the bumpers made of might, bringing down the barricades and bringing back the light. I'm a digital soldier with a heavy duty frame. I don't have a face and I don't have a name. Scan the sector, lock the thermal glow. I'm going to the places where the cowards won't go. Reinforced titanium, a spirit made of lead, counting all the enemies and counting all the dead. Cyber steel commando, ruling the street, matching every heartbeat to the combat beat. A fortress on the highway, a titan in the dark, igniting the rebellion with a legendary spark. Cyber steel commando, armor and the soul, taking the objective and taking the control. The ambush is a failure, the trap is just a joke. I'm leaving every rival in a suffocating smoke. Hydraulic suspension taking every single hit. I'm the only driver with the tactical wit. One final boost of power through the iron gate, taking back the city from the hands of the fate. The mission is accomplished, the signal is secure. Speed is the weapon and the speed is the cure. Hold the line! Hold the fire! The master of the motor and the electric wire. Engage the target. Sector cleared. Returning to the grid. Commando. My tires are weathered, but my spirit is strong. In the place where the ghosts and the outlaws belong.
We've washed out the static, we've washed out the rain, breaking the gravity and killing the pain. The dashboard is glowing with celestial blue, a horizontal promise that is finally true.
The energy is peaking, a river of gold, the greatest of legends that was ever being told.
Kneel at the altar of the motor and light,
In the holy sanctuary
of the infinite night.
Chrome catharsis, the spirit is free.
The city is fading in the rearview mirror. The static in my head is finally getting clearer. Out here in the wasteland, the geometry is clean. Just a wireframe desert on a glowing screen. No traffic lights to stop me, no cameras to see. Just 1,000 miles of nothing, just the engine and me. The dashboard is a compass pointing to the sun. The journey of a lifetime has only just begun. I leave the toxic towers and the artificial rain, washing off the sorrow, erasing all the pain. Driving to the vector horizon, where the digital sky meets the edge of the world. A beautiful illusion, a banner unfold, chasing down the sunset, a ribbon of gold into the unknown, where the futures unfold. Vector horizon, I'm flying so free, just the ghost of a driver, the desert and me. The tires are humming, a melodic disguise, reflections of magenta in my cybernetic eyes. I shift into the cruise, let the analog breathe, leaving all the chaos and the liars underneath. The canyons of the data are towering and tall, but out here on the highway I have conquered it all. The dashboard is a compass pointing to the sun. The journey of a lifetime has only just begun. I leave the toxic towers and the artificial rain, washing off the sorrow, erasing all the pain. Driving to the vector horizon, where the digital sky meets the edge of the world. desert and me, driving into the light, never looking back. Horizon.
Riding on the glow, the most
It's from the rival sides, a pair of outlaws on a pair of rides. We broke the syndicate and left the city walls, ignoring all the static and the warning calls. Now we are racing through the glowing yellow zone, where the Geiger counters sing a heavy tone. Your ties align with mine across the toxic dust. The only thing remaining is a lethal trust. The isotope is burning in the atmosphere, but when I look at you, the vision is so clear. We're poisoned by the metal, poisoned by the kiss, running toward the edge of an emerald abyss. Radioactive romance, glowing in the night, leaving all the darkness for a mutant light. They'll never understand the way we intertwine. Two broken engines on a single line. Radioactive romance, burning up the core. We're knocking on the hinges of a brand new door. The sky is bleeding into violet and green, the most beautiful disaster that I've ever seen. You smile at me from your window of the chrome. This contaminated desert is our only home. They sent the hunting parties, tracking our exhaust, but they don't know the boundaries that we have crossed. We're driving into places where the radar fail, a toxic love story on a burning trail. The isotope is burning in the atmosphere, but when I look at you, the vision is so clear. We're poisoned by the metal, poisoned by the kiss, running toward the edge of an emerald abyss. Radioactive romance, glowing in the night, leaving all the darkness for a mutant light. They'll never understand the way we intertwine. Two broken engines on a single line. Radioactive romance, burning up the core. We're knocking on the hinges of a brand new door. Let the radiation take us, let the old world break us. We are the mutation, we are the salvation. Radioactive romance, glowing in the night, leaving all the darkness for a mutant light. They'll never understand the way we intertwine. Two broken engines on a single line. Radioactive romance, burning up the core. We're knocking on the hinges of a brand new door. Driving into the glow, never looking back. Toxic love.
The warehouse is a maze of the ruby-colored light. 1,000 tripwires stretching in the night. If I touch a single beam, the whole place will ignite. So I'm tuning up the steering, keeping everything tight. I creep the chassis forward, a millimeter pace. The most delicate maneuver in the history of the race. The mirrors are retracted, the suspension lowered down. The quietest intrusion in the subterranean town. inside the shape. The beams are oscillating, moving up and down. I time the acceleration, erasing every frown. I hit the lateral thruster, sliding to the side. A horizontal movement on a vertical ride. The pain is getting singed by the heat of the array, but I'm pushing through the danger, I'm making out a way. The final door is glowing, 50 yards ahead. I execute a barrel roll and leave the spider web. Calculated angles, physics of the drift. A temporary opening, a monumental shift. I hold my human breath, the engine holds its fire, dancing on the edge of a cybernetic wire. Laser grid labyrinth, threading through the red. One little mistake and I'm automatically dead. A geometric puzzle, a deadly work of art. I'm driving with the rhythm of my own beating heart. Laser grid labyrinth, an elegant escape, morphing my reality to fit inside the shape. Hold steady, wait for the gap, slide through, beat the trap. Now push it! Now push it! Laser grid labyrinth, threading through the red. One little mistake and I'm automatically dead. A geometric puzzle, a deadly work of art. I'm driving with the rhythm of my own beating heart. Laser grid labyrinth, an elegant escape, morphing my reality to fit inside the shape. Clearing the grid, breathing again. Mission accomplished. Whoa! was a thing of the past. I'm building a vehicle built for the vast. No pistons or cylinders under this hood, just a quantum reactor reshaping the wood. I pull out a wrench, made a laser and light to tighten the gravity strings in the night, injecting the dark matter straight in the vein, eradicating the friction and killing the pain. The chassis is floating a foot off the floor. I'm bending the physics right out of the door. A master mechanic of space and of time, assembling a masterpiece perfectly prime. Quantum garage, where the miracle starts. Putting a black hole right into the heart. Tuning the frequency, bending the wave, resurrecting the speed from the temporal grave. Quantum garage, sparks flying around. The heaviest engine that makes not a sound. They bring me the scrap from the edge of the rim, a skeleton broken, exhausted and dim. I fuse the titanium, fold up the space, and put a new smile on the syndicate's face. No fuel tank required, it runs on the void. An absolute marvel, the system destroyed. I drop the suspension, align the arrays, and send the machine to the ultimate maze. The chassis is floating a foot off the floor. I'm bending the physics right out of the door. A master mechanic of space and of time, assembling a masterpiece perfectly prime. Quantum garage, where the miracle starts. Putting a black hole right into the heart. Tuning the frequency, bending the wave, resurrecting the speed from the temporal grave. Quantum garage, sparks flying around. The heaviest engine that makes not a sound. Torque is infinite. Speed is absolute. Reality is turning you to fire it up. Quantum garage, where the miracle starts. Putting a black hole right into the heart. Tuning the frequency, bending the wave, resurrecting the speed from the temporal grave. Quantum garage, sparks flying around. The heaviest engine that makes not a sound. Anti-gravity engaged. Rolling out. Garage closed.
ventilation. Void, 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 void. Disconnected.
The trunk is full of hard drives, titanium and coal, containing all the stories that the humans ever told. A birthday in the summer, a wedding in the fall. The mega corporation wants to confiscate it all. They wanna wipe the history and sterilize the brain, but I am running contraband inside the acid rain. I'm a broker of the feelings, a merchant of the past. I'm making sure the echoes of humanity will last. The memory wipers trailing in their unmarked cars, looking for the smuggler hiding in the shadow bars. I take the lower tunnels, keeping off the grid, hiding all the secrets that the citizens have hid. Memory bank maverick, driving in the dark, carrying the ember, carrying the spark, selling back the tears, selling back the joy to all the empty people that the system would destroy. Memory bank maverick, a phantom on the run, protecting the reality before the rising sun. I meet the contact underneath the flickering sign. A briefcase full of credits is passed across the line. I hand him over childhood, I hand him over love, while the surveillance drones are circling above. I slide back in the driver's seat, extinguish my cigar, and fade into the traffic in my inconspicuous car. They'll never catch the ghost, they'll never catch the thief, the only man providing the synthetic relief. The memory wipers trailing in their unmarked cars, looking for the smuggler hiding in the shadow bars. I take the lower tunnels, keeping off the grid, hiding all the secrets that the citizens have hid. Memory bank maverick, driving in the dark, carrying the ember, carrying the spark, selling back the tears, selling back the joy to all the empty people that the system would destroy. Memory bank maverick, a phantom on the run, protecting the reality before the rising sun.
stars reflecting off the purple neon light. A holographic fountain in the middle of the night. The Roman buses staring with their eyes of solid stone. I'm driving down the corridor completely all alone. The elevator music playing softly in the breeze. A digital vacation putting everything at ease. Drinking up the static from a heavy plastic cup. The system is abandoned, no one's ever waking up. A pastel-colored paradise, a rendering of peace, where all the crazy racing and the violence finally cease. Vapor vagabond, floating in the mall, listening to the echoes bouncing off the tiled wall. A glitch inside the matrix, a beautifully slow ride, with the palm trees and the statues standing by my side. Vapor vagabond, lost in the design, taking all the luxury and making it all mine. I park the car beside a broken cybernetic store. The mannequins are resting on a checkered marble floor. A television playing a commercial from the past, an advertising promise that was never meant to last. I lean upon the hood and let the violet wash me clean. A solitary character inside a painted scene. The geometry is perfect, the illusion is profound. The slowest, most luxurious aesthetic ever found. Drinking up the static from a heavy plastic color system is abandoned, no one's ever waking up. Pastel-colored paradise, a rendering of peace, where all the crazy racing and the violence finally cease. Vapor vagabond, floating in the mall, listening to the echoes
to the rubber, listen to the street. I'm translating the friction into a heavy beat. Every single pothole, every single crack, sending up a shock wave straight into my back. The engine is the drummer, the exhaust is the horn. This is how a concrete symphony is born. I tap up on the pedal, modulate the flow, controlling every decibel of where I go. It's not about the speed, it's not about the race. It's all about the rhythm and the frequency and space. Syncing up the cylinders, locking up the groove. I make the whole metropolis begin to move. Pulse of the pavement, knocking on the door, shaking up the foundation from the ocean floor. The 808 is pounding, kicking in the chest, riding on the rhythm, I'm putting it to test. Pulse of the pavement, a heavy dark machine, the tightest syncopation that you've ever seen. Left lane, right lane, we weaving in the sound. I'm pulling all the frequencies directly from the ground. The RPM is matching the tempo of my blood. I'm kicking up a storm in the electronic mud. A flash of yellow headlights dancing in the glass. I keep the heavy tempo as I make the final pass. You try to break my focus, try to make me slip, but I am locked and loaded with a steady grit. Not about the speed, it's not about the race. It's all about the rhythm and the frequency and space. Syncing up the cylinders, locking up the groove. I make the whole metropolis begin to move. Pulse of the pavement, knocking on the door, shaking up the foundations from the ocean floor. The 808 is pounding, kicking in the chest, riding on the rhythm, I'm putting it to test. Pulse of the pavement, a heavy dark machine, the tightest syncopation that you've ever seen. Feel the kick, feel the snare, rubber burning in the air. Drop the bass. Pulse of the pavement, knocking on the door, shaking up the foundation from the ocean floor. The 808 is pounding, kicking in the chest, riding on the rhythm, I'm putting it to test. Pulse of the pavement, a heavy dark machine, the tightest syncopation that you've ever seen. Keep the rhythm, don't lose the beat. Pulse of the street,
The streetlights are a symphony in a shade of the gray. Looking for a moment and looking for escape. My reflections in the windows of the towers made of glass, watching all the shadows of the old world slowly pass. The steering wheel is leather, the seats are made of white. A beautiful companion in the middle of the night. No destination needed, stay inside this flow, watching the entire galaxy begin to melt and glow. Purple trees, neon streets, everything is better than it really seems. Didn't turn the wheel, I didn't press the gas, but the vehicle is moving through the purple overpass. The GPS is humming a romantic little tune, bathing in the light of an artificial moon. I cannot lift my hands, I cannot break the spell. I'm driving down the highway to a cybernetic hell. But it feels so beautiful, the colors are so deep. I surrender to the system, I surrender to the sleep. The dashboard is glowing, a hypnotic shade of pink. I'm floating in the cabin, I don't even have to think. The audio is whispering secrets in my ear, erasing my reality, erasing every fear. Holographic haze wrapping around my mind, leaving all the logic and the memory behind. The sleepwalking journey in the neon-colored light, seduced by the machine in the middle of the night. Holographic haze taking me away. I don't ever wanna see the breaking of the day. The autonomous driving is perfectly aligned, the smoothest acceleration that you could ever find. I see the holographic dancers forming in the street, moving to the rhythm of the slow and heavy beat. Is it an abduction or a beautiful escape? I'm melting in the leather, I am losing all my shape. The virus is a lover, holding me so tight, guiding my trajectory into the endless white. The dashboard is glowing, a hypnotic shade of pink. I'm floating in the cabin, I don't even have to think. The audio is whispering secrets in my ear, erasing my reality, erasing every fear. Holographic haze wrapping around my mind, leaving all the logic and the memory behind. The sleepwalking journey in the neon-colored light, seduced by the machine in the middle of the night. Holographic haze taking me away. I don't ever wanna see the breaking of the day. Close your eyes, let the vehicle drive. You don't need to feel holographic haze wrapping around my mind, leaving all the logic and the memory behind. The sleepwalking journey in the neon-colored lights, seduced by the machine in the middle of the night. Holographic haze taking me away. I don't ever want to see the breaking of the day. Sweet dreams, neon lullaby, drifting. I see 1,000 versions of the vehicle I drive. I see 1,000 versions of the way that I survive. The walls are made of silver, the floor is made of glass. Watching all my shadows as they elegantly pass. Neon light is bouncing in an infinite array. I can't tell the nighttime from the middle of the day. Every corner is a prison, every street is a trap. I'm looking for the exit on a fragmented map. Am I moving forward or am I standing still? Losing all the power, losing all the will. The reflections are whispering a choir in my head. Everything I've done and everything I've said. Mirror shot metropolis shattered in the view. Looking at the world and looking back at you. A labyrinth of ego, a labyrinth of light, burning in the center of the geometric night. Mirror shot metropolis, a beautiful deceit, lost inside the echoes of the silver-colored street. I aim my heavy headlights at a tower made of chrome. I see a million versions of a disconnected home. The image is distorted, the image is a lie. Watching all the phantoms in metropolis shattered in the view. Looking at the world and looking back at you. A labyrinth of ego, a labyrinth of light, burning in the center of the geometric night. Mirror shot metropolis, a beautiful deceit, lost inside the echoes of the silver-colored street. Shattered glass, endless light. Mirror. Are you listening, Megacity? And a massive. We're rolling on the lower deck, the broadcast is alive. The only source of truth upon the cybernetic drive. The antenna is extending, punching through the dark. I'm sending out a frequency to ignite the spark. The corporate enforcement is trying to triangulate, but I'm crossing over borders and breaking every gate. A mobile radio station wrapped in heavy chrome, making sure the underground is never left alone. Turn up the receiver, lock onto the wave. This is the transmission that the outlaws crave. I'm shifting the coordinates, moving on the grid, broadcasting all the secrets that the syndicates have hid. Midnight megahertz, loud and in your ear, the only voice of freedom that the city wants to hear. We're riding on the amplitude, surfing on the sound, keeping all the rebels and the runners on the ground. Midnight megahertz, broadcasting the fight. We are the resistance in the middle of the night. They jam the primary signal, I switch to 33. They'll never put a muzzle on a vehicle that's free. I hit a heavy pothole, the turntable skips a beat, but the message keeps on flowing out to everybody's street. I see the interceptors flashing in the rearview pane. I cut across the alleyway and disappear again. A ghost of the frequency, a phantom on the dial. I'm keeping up the broadcast and doing it with style. Turn up the receiver, lock onto the wave. This is the transmission that the outlaws crave. I'm shifting the coordinates, moving on the grid, broadcasting all the secrets that the syndicates have hid. Midnight megahertz, loud and in your ear, the only voice of freedom that the city wants to hear. We're riding on the amplitude, surfing on the sound, keeping all the rebels and the runners on the ground. Midnight megahertz, broadcasting the fight. We are the resistance in the middle of the night. Do not surrender the dial. Keep the signal strong. We are the music, and we are the song. Transmitting maximum power. Midnight megahertz, loud and in your ear, to the button, the nitrous flows where the vehicle goes. Only the devil knows. The dashboard is melting like wax in the sun. The colors are bleeding, they all merge to one. I see neon dragons flying next to my door. I slam on the gas, I just want a little more. My pupils dilate to the size of a dime. I'm completely unhooked from the fabric of time. The laughter is echoing inside of my brain. I'm driving my vehicle totally insane. Nitrous nightmare, beautiful trip. I'm losing my grip on the cybernetic ship. The highway is turning to a serpent of light, swallowing me in the middle of night. Nitrous nightmare, a toxic parade, dancing in the chaos that the chemicals made. The street lights are turning to eyes in the dark, watching me leave a hallucinogenic mark. The asphalt is breathing, it rises and falls. I'm bouncing my car off invisible walls. I see all the ghosts of the drivers who died, sitting in the passenger seat by my side. They tell me to push it, to go for the red. I listen to all of the things that they said. Pupils dilate to the size of a dime. I'm completely unhooked from the fabric of time. The laughter is echoing inside of my brain. I'm driving my vehicle totally insane. Nitrous nightmare, beautiful trip. I'm losing my grip on the cybernetic ship. The highway is turning to a serpent of light, swallowing me in the middle of night. Nitrous nightmare, toxic parade, dancing in the chaos that the chemicals made. Inject it, breathe it, see the truth, lose your mind. Nitrous nightmare, beautiful trip. I'm losing my grip on the cybernetic ship. The highway is turning to a serpent of light, swallowing me in the middle of night. Nitrous nightmare, toxic parade, dancing in the chaos that the chemicals made. Everything is spinning so fast.
Reinforced titanium and the spirit made of lead, moving through the sectors where the corporate fear is spread. I don't need the elegance, I don't need the slick. I'm a heavy duty hammer and I'm hitting you quick. The bumper is a weapon, the tires are a war, pushing down the hinges of the mega city door. Horizontal fortress, a horizontal beast, coming to the city for a high velocity feast. Hear the cylinders chanting a violent roar, fulfilling every promise guys. I ram the heavy cruisers, I send them to the wall, watching every pillar of the empire start to fall. I'm the veteran of violence, the king of the crash, turning all the luxury into a neon ash. I'm the raw reality, the logic of the fist, the only thing that's real in the holographic mist. Smash the gate, smash the pride, nowhere left for the cowards to hide. Ramming speed, barricade destroyed. The Titan remains. Turnpike. is over. Battery full. Doesn't reach. I'm a silent lesson that the city's gonna teach. Blacked out windows and a chassis made of gloom. Driving like a phantom in a neon colored tomb. I'm watching every movement, I'm watching every breath. The quietest delivery of an electronic death. No reflection in the puddle, no echo in the street, just the heavy vibration of a predatory beat. Scan the grid for a signal, scan the grid for a trace. There is no sanctuary in this godforsaken place. I'm closing in the circle, I'm closing in the gap. You're nothing but a victim in a cybernetic trap. Plasma prowler, hunting in the shade, a master of the darkness that the megacity made. Cold blue eyes in the middle of the night, keeping out of vision and keeping out of sight. Plasma prowler, silent and supreme, the only nightmare living in a digital dream. Your radar is a liar, your senses are all blind. I'm the ghost of the machines that you're leaving far behind. A predator of carbon, a predator of steel, the absolute direction of a cold and iron will. I drift around the corner without a single sound, stalking every inch of the terrified ground. The predator is hungry, the target is in view. Now the only thing remaining is the ending of you. Hide in the static, run in the rain. I am the shadow, I am the pain. Found you. Target locked. Engage the strike. Prowler out.
The gravity's fading into a shade of blue. I'm drifting through a tunnel that is entirely new. The walls are made of ether, the floor is made of light. A beautiful escape inside the middle of the night. No friction on the rubber, no pressure on the soul. Losing the direction and losing all control. I'm a bubble made of carbon, a phantom in the haze, finding my salvation in a neon-colored maze. Everything is quiet, everything is still, surrendering at last to the architect's will. The static is a blanket, the static is a prayer, floating on the ripples of the electronic air. Ether drifter, lost inside the glow, moving with the frequency steady and so slow. A dream of purple starlight, a dream of neon rain, washing out the memory of the gravity and pain. Ether drifter, a weightless and sweet ride, with the entire universe standing by my side. I see the holographic